Hi there, it's Sam from Pootles.co.uk. Thank you very much for joining me today. Today's project is a milk carton style box, but it's got a lid that comes off, and we all love a good milk carton type box because they're very cute and you can decorate them in all sorts of ways and make beautiful patterns. But I wanted one with a lid, so this took me quite a while to come up with the measurements because it was an awful lot of fiddling around, but I'm going to show you how to make it. And don't worry about writing any of the measurements down, you don't need to. I will put them all on my blog and you can actually watch the video and see the measurements at the same time. So, but the piece of cardstock is 7 7/16 of an inch by 7 7/16, which is just a fraction smaller than 7.5 inches, and that's just so that the bottom sits nicely under the top. And oh, here comes the sunshine. Lovely, my desk's going to get brighter in a minute. So you need to just score it simply at 2.5 inches on all four sides. And the metric is 19.3 centimetres by 19.3 centimetres, and you score it at 6.5 centimetres on all four sides. And the lid, the top part, is a piece of paper. You could do card obviously, but I'm using paper that is 10.5 inches by 3 inches, 26.5 centimetres by 7.5. And you score that at 2.5, 5, 7.5 and 10 inches, which is 6.5, 13, 19.5 and 25.5 centimetres. And then you turn it round, and depending on which way you want your pattern to go, if you want your pattern, so obviously I want to look at it that way, I need to have it facing that way, and score it at 1 inch and at 2.5 inches, which is 2.5 centimetres and 6.5 centimetres. Okay, so fold on all of the score lines, and I like to fold the long edge first when I'm doing a box, doing a paper box, or when it's a particularly long piece. It sort of just stays that bit straighter, I suppose, is the best way to describe it. My original one was Primrose Petals from the In Colours 2012-2014, so they're going to be leaving us in the summertime. And this one is Raspberry Ripple, also from the same collection. And the box bottom, you fold it and score it again, burnishing well because it's a box and we want to keep it nice and crisp and sharp. And there is a particular way to cut, and normally you hear me saying, and I'm going to bring in one that I've actually already done. You normally hear me saying, cut in, notch a bit out, and do it on both, do it like this. But because all our dimensions, this is a cubed box, if we did this, we'd have too much going on here, and it would just be too thick and bulky on one side, and it would be thin and flimsy. So actually what you want to do is you need to cut it, we'll ignore that side, you need to cut it on one side, notch in, chop a bit out and then rotate it so that you end up, whoops, with one that looks like this, so that when you fold you've got one piece sticking to a wall, another piece sticking to a wall, and so on all the way around, and then it just gives it the sort of same sturdiness, I suppose you'd call it. Now the places to put sticky strips, we've got a 1 inch, a 2.5 centimetre section, then we've got a 1/2 inch section up here, so just over 1 centimetre. That's actually going to be the top. This is going to be our bottom, and when it's closed up we need to pinch the top and it needs to all stick down. So basically we need to put sticky strip all the way along this bit, which is the top, and put it on the inside all the way along, so that when it pinches closed it will stick quite happily in on itself. Oops. It will pinch close like that, but then we also need sticky strip on 2 of these parts. It doesn't really matter which 2 you choose as long as there's one in between. So it's one miss, one there. And that's so that these side bits pinch in. Now this one, if you're looking down on it, you can see it's wibbling a bit, and that's because I used liquid glue, which is not good. Liquid glue with paper tends to warp the paper, so a dry adhesive is definitely the one you want to use. You don't want liquid. Okay, move that out of the way for 1 second. This one here, it's these tabs we're going to put adhesive to, and again I would suggest sticky strip or liquid glue, because liquid glue or liquid glue is fine, but I'm already aware that I'm taking up your time, although I'm sure you don't mind too much, so I'm just going to use Snail quickly. And you bring in the sides and fold them up, and by chopping off that bit we know we're not going to have too much of an overlap or anything like that. Just keep bringing in all of the sides. So that's the box bottom made, and this top bit, oh I forgot to put sticky strip, I need some down here because obviously it needs to close and stick. And I'm now going to do battle with the sticky strip backing because the stuff hates me. I'm sure it does. It's fine when it's not on camera. I think it's camera shy. Peel off the backing there and fold it over. And then all of these parts here, we want to stick these bits in on themselves first. So, paper piercer or a pair of tweezers or something like that, and pick off the sticky strip inside. And then you need to pinch it with these sticky bits going in. So that's the top, but it will gape slightly, which is what we don't want to do. So you come back in and take that sticky off at that side. And the same, you see, look, it's gaping. If you didn't put the sticky strip on that bit, it would gape. Just that's never pretty, is it? There we go. Much straighter top. Much happier with that than that wibbly one there. So that's the box lid, and that will just sit nicely, whoops, over the box, sit on top of the box. So a little bit of stamping. I've got Raspberry Ripple, obviously to match, and I have got the Fabulous Phrases stamp set, which I love. I love the phrases in this. And I've got the Petite Petals because I wanted to do a little bit of stamping on the flowers as well. Obviously some Whisper White cardstock. So I'll stamp out the Gratitude. I put Fabulous on the first one because I just thought, you know, my effort was really to make a box, a milk carton box with a lid. But I like Gratitude as well, it works. And then punch all of these out. So I need the modern label to go around Gratitude, and I'm just going to offset it slightly, just very slightly, so that I can put the flowers attached to it. Petite Petals punch around each of those. And then sponge the edge of this one. I'm going to put this up on dimensionals, and I need to position that first before I can start putting the flowers on. So, whoops. I would say, where's the back of the box? There it is. So about there. And I've got the in colour dahlias or dahlias. Typically I've only got one Raspberry Ripple left, so ooh, should we put yellow in the middle? No, I think we'll stay with the Primrose Petals. And these, just a glue dot on the back of these is all that you need. Mini glue dot and into the middle of each one. And then these will all go on glue dots as well. So one over the end of the sentiment. have one up there a bit, I think. And one kind of nestling in amongst it all. And that, oh, I just need some ribbon around the middle. I forgot that bit. Raspberry Ripple, of course. I think that's what's the genius of the in colours, is that there's all sorts to go with it. Let's tangle. Should I tangle myself up in the ribbon? Why not? Try and tie a bow. Oh, I've done worse. I've done better, but oh, for goodness sake. Upside down bow. How did I manage that? A completely upside down bow. Oh dear. Oh, for goodness sake. I'll turn it over in a minute for the photos. But that is my milk carton box with its own lid that comes off and on quite easily. Anyway, thank you very much for joining me. Bye.